Hello, welcome to Animal Corner. Today, you know it, every weekend we're in the kitchen and we are going to make vegan omelets. We are going to make vegan omelets today. Now, you all know you got your aids from the two foundations, the MJR Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. And the SPTV Foundation, you got that, you got your roof over your head, but you need something else. Food. That's one of the basic resources you need to survive. So I decided to contribute it to your mix. So, and everybody else, I'm not leaving you out too. You're gonna cook. Of course, I'm not leaving out anyone, including if they escaped from another cult or weren't in any cult at all. You can do this too. Now, first, you're gonna need 14 ounces if you don't mind 16, I'm going to use it anyways, of tofu. Make it 16. All right. You crush it up. What the hell? Excuse me. Excuse my language. Oh, how do you like that? I forgot to put. Ugh. You know what? I have to put this in here for now. Ugh. I am just not a morning person, so. Okay. I forgot to put the blade in. That's the most important thing when making the vegan omelet. You're supposed to put the blade in because you're going to need a food processor to mix up the tofu. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where my head's at today, so of course, you know, I'm bipolar, and you know, Scientology is against people with mental illness. And of course, all you know, L. Ron Hubbard had very serious mental health issues that he didn't take care of until the end. So here we go. And so, and a lot of them in Scientology also has those issues, as you know, and they need to be on some kind of substance to actually get them to function. So I have to didn't take my meds yet, so oh, you know what? It's a better idea if I take it now. Excuse me for 1 minute. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, I'm sorry everybody. I'm as slow as molasses. Now, I would have waited to take my medication after the show, but of course, I can't do that because I also have ADHD, which some of the people in Scientology do have. And they don't want to be on medication, all because of Scientology. And also, Tom Cruise has dyslexia. He claims that Scientology cured it. But no, it didn't cure it. That's what Miscavige wants him to think. Because guess what? Miscavige has asthma. And according to Mark Hadley, I hope I said his name right, is worried about his asthma. And he thinks it's going to react on him. And he does all these tricks to actually make you think that Scientology cured him, where in fact it didn't, because he has some kind of air tank under his desk. And according to him, he's worried that he'll drop. This is Miscavige. He is worried. This is according to Mark Hadley. Anyways, so neither one of those two are cured of any problems he has, including Tom Cruise is dyslexia. Scientology did not cure that. What he's experiencing is a placebo. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Grab this out because I didn't want this to fall on me. There. Now we're going to crush up the tofu. So just pause every few seconds with your food processor, because if you don't, it's going to burn right out. That's the way I learned to actually not use up so much of the energy. But with this is really great. Of course, it only carries about a certain portion, but I think they might have a big one. Check your local department stores and ask the clerk. Anyhow, pause it every few seconds so it doesn't burn out on you. If this burns out on you, it is so handy. You just wait 15 minutes. Of course, I don't want to wait 15 minutes because I really need this thing to crush everything up. So pause. Don't overheat any of the... If you don't have a Ninja, don't let your food processor overheat. And hello, Maud. How you doing today? So we're going to crush up. We're going to mix up the tofu. All right. And Aaron, in case this is you, if you're not on your show, this is handy for your diet. You get all your protein instead of those beef jerkies. They're not going to help you, honey. So follow everything I say. I'm not going to try and turn you into a vegetarian. I know that's something you want to have to do yourself, but anyhow, let it cool off a little bit, because you do not want your food processor to overheat. Then if you do that, you won't have a food processor anymore. But however, the Ninja really helps, because you wait 15 minutes and then it's ready to go again. And yeah, you can't let any of your food processors burn out. So there we go. All right. Now, in this food processor, while it's cooling down, I'm going to add ingredients to it. First of all, you're going to need 2.5 teaspoons of naturalized yeast. Okay. Because this would make, or you probably have to, soak this. Let's see here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you can. I guess you can use this because usually if you have bread, you have to let your yeast soak, but it doesn't really say anything about soaking it now. So, but that's the most important thing. If you're baking bread, you have to let your yeast soak according to your recipe that you have. You have to let your yeast soak. Oh my gosh. I have to grab my teaspoons. I washed them yesterday. There we go. All right. It looks like my video is going to run for an hour. Okay. Have my teaspoons right here. And I'm sorry, but I had to wash out my cup there because it was all full of oil from yesterday. So, and I did wipe it off with a paper towel like I said I would. Okay. All right. And okay. All right. The 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. This is so it doesn't go flat. And if it goes flat, I apologize ahead of time. Okay. All righty. It's really clinging to the spoon like it was a long lost relative. So, all right. This would go back because guess what? I don't have any room on this counter, so I have to put it back. So since I don't have any room on my counter, I have to use the smaller version of a cutting board. Otherwise, I'd be diving in and getting it. But anyhow, I'm going to put this away. Each and every time I'm done using one of the ingredients, I'm going to put it back. All right. And the 1.5 teaspoon of olive oil is going to go into a pan when you're actually cooking it. All right. And then you have to add 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. Yeah, I know, not the fresh one, even though I love the fresh kind, but asking for garlic powder. Okay, we're gonna stick it in. All right. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay. And then we're gonna blend it all up. Now, next week, I am gonna try and make a Armenian rice pilaf for you. Usually it's called just pilaf. Pilaf in Armenian means rice. So we're gonna make somehow next weekend rice noodles. But only thing is, I'm not going to use brown rice because brown rice takes a little bit longer to cook. So let's see here. All right, so we're going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And I got this out of one of the sites, the recipe, and I rearranged it and put added or subtracted to it because of copyright infringement. I don't want to steal anyone's idea. That's not what I attempt. It's not what anyone should attempt because it's stealing and you're not being creative. But however, I'm not saying if you're not creative, you're not talented. Everybody's talented at something. So I'm going to put the cornstarch back. And then, oh boy, we're going to add 1/3 cups of soy milk. So let me get that. So you need very little of it because you're going to liquefy the tofu to make your vegan omelets. Of course, you know, I'm a vegetarian vegan. I'm trying to be a vegan, but let's face it, all the companies out there are price gouging. Some of them anyway. I'm not going to accuse all of them of price gouging. Anyhow, I added 1/3 of soy milk. Now, if you have other vegan type milks like almond milk or rice milk, whatever, you can use it. I'm not saying you should, but this one has protein. But the oat milk does, as you call, we made it the last time. Of course, I do use it, but I kept adding water to it, so I apologize for that. And of course, I had to redo a recipe because of copyright infringement laws, and I'd rather be creative. So that's the reason why I'm not going to use any recipe directly out of the book or site, because there are copyright laws. I don't want to get sued. I don't have the money to get sued. All right. Okay. Now, okay. Oh, my mod is gone. Okay, so, but, okay. And then you dump this in. All right. And then it's time to use your food processor. Oh, okay. Got to put that on. No. Now, as you know, I don't want dead air, and neither do you. So I'm going to keep on talking while I'm mixing up whatever. Okay, there. Oh boy. There we go. So we're mixing it up. And then pause every few seconds, because you do not want your food processor to burn out on you. Stop for a few seconds so your food processor won't burn out on you. Pause. Now, as soon as you get out of the code, they either don't feed you at all, or they give you something else that doesn't fill you, like Scientology. If they misbehave, they give them rice and beans, but they do cook for them, and nobody in Scientology, unless they're public Scientologists, cook. So, oh boy. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's mixed up anyway, so. All right. Yep, it's done. Okay. Pull out the blade. Let me get a spoon. And then get all the tofu off of it. All right. Now, as you know, Scientology is liable for each and every death that they have, including from asthma. Now, my asthma is not as severe. I only have a mild case, but there is somebody in there who has a case of asthma. So, okay. Now, okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to mix it up. And now we're going to work on the interior of the omelet. When you put it in and then fold it over, I think maybe I'll put just a pinch of salt. Now, this time I'm going to put in a pinch because the last time I used a teaspoon it tasted so strong. But the thing is, I can't, I mentioned this several times on you, for copyright reasons, I'm not going to use a recipe directly out of it because I'm going to have to pay the author or whoever has their own site money to use it. So I don't have that kind of money, so I have to do it up. All right. We're going to set this aside. We're going to work on the interior of the omelets. Okay. Okay. I think oh yeah. It looks like I'm going to have to put the butter in there. Oh, yeah. I'm going to melt the butter and then mix it up. So hold on. All right. Okay, that's half teaspoon. All right, let me rinse this off. All right, so here we go. Since I can't put it in there directly, I have to melt it and then put it in. So I'm gonna use this custard to actually. Now, I haven't gone on to Samuel's site yet to see what he's baking. Oh my gosh, I am dying to find out what he cooks all the time. So, let me get a butter knife. Okay. But no, I'm not going to use any of his recipes because guess what? That's copyright infringement right there. I'm not going to use. Yeah. There are copyright laws out there. And if a person doesn't know how to cook or doesn't know how to do anything creative, they shouldn't use other people's stuff. But out there in the world, there are people that do that. So, yeah, I'm still dying to know what he cooks up. So I'm gonna find some way of getting onto his site and watching whatever it is he cooks because he used to be chef right in Scientology. Okay, I'm gonna wipe the butter clean. I'm gonna wipe it off. Yes. All right. All right. There we go. And then I'm gonna pop it in the microwave. Okay, while that's melting, we're going to stir up the ingredients. And yeah, it doesn't look like I need this right now. So I'll put this right aside. There. All right. We're going to stick it right in here and then wipe it off. With a paper towel so it doesn't. Okay. All right. Now, I know I said I'm going to invite all the members of SPTV, and we're going to cook together, but I'm still learning the kinks, so, but so far I got one. And I'm going to not only have a conversation with her during the week, I'm going to see if I can get her on the show and then cook. Now, sometimes, yeah, I'm going to let them have their own recipes. And I think, yeah, why not? There's nothing wrong with learning something new. So, okay. All right. So we're going to set this one aside. All right. We're going to set this aside. And now I'm going to cut up the onions for the interior. So cut up the onions. All right. It looks like, ooh, this shallot resembles a red onion. I guess they must have used, the engineers used some kind of, chemical engineers or whatever. But they are engineers for food because some of them work in cereal factories, food factories. All right. So now I'm going to cut up the onion. All right. Cut this in half. I picked the shallot because it's small enough for me to use because I don't want to cut up a big, huge. Oh boy. Okay. And I definitely didn't want to have a crying routine with the onions too, so. All right. Okay, so we got the onions. Okay. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. All right, let me grab the, oh my goodness. Ah, grab the onions. All right. I'm going to throw this one in there. Now, the shallots are a lot like those red onions, those big red onions that you see. Of course, I never used the shallot in my life and found out that it's a red onion. Looks like a symbol of a red onion, but okay. Oh my gosh. Oh. And believe it or not, there are some people out there that don't cry when they cut up an onion. That must be a stroke of luck. Okay, so cut that up. All right. Then peel this off. Now this one goes directly on top of your tofu when cooking, mixed with all right. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot to cut it in half. All right. Yeah, you have to like directly lay it down, cut it into pieces like this, cut it down like that, but I didn't do that. Why? Oh boy. All right, there we go. Here's the onion. Oh boy. All right. Now we're going to cut this up like this since I didn't cut it the way I was supposed to. So am I as good as cook as Samuel? Probably not. I don't, because he's a chef. That's what he does for a living. And of course, you know how frugal chefs are. I'm not frugal. So, all right. So, no, he's the greatest cook. Of course, he has to be because he's a chef. Now, yeah, I want to get to his side and find out what he's cooking, if he's cooking. So, if I can find him, okay. All right, darlings. That's the way he says it. It's so cute, too. And he sounds like he's from Transylvania, but I don't think he is. But, all right. Where is he from? I don't know. I forgot. So, all right. Oh, boy. Stick this in there. And now we're going to grab, oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. And then I'm going to grab, where is, of course, I didn't grab everything in process. Wow, actually. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay, I dumped that in there. Dump the onion in there. Okay. Yeah, give me a few seconds, cause okay. All right. Now, okay. I need a drink of my iced coffee, of course. Okay. All righty. Now, 1 cup of cheese. Okay. Now, if you want to put other vegetables in there, you can. So, yeah, I'm only putting onions in there because I don't think I have all the vegetables I need. Yeah, I have tomatoes. All right. Okay. Okay. There we go. Now, there's a little bit left. I'm just going to dump it in. So, there we go. Now, okay. So, then you add it to the mix. All right. Alrighty, there we go. All right. Now, they don't take every single material when they recycle. So find your recycle logo, and then if it has a cross, an X across it, that means they don't take it. So you have no choice but to toss it, because I don't know what they're thinking when they're doing that, but okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to move everything out of the way. Oh, I have to mix this up. Now, each and every time you mix it up, yeah, it looks pretty good. And of course, the cheese took over most of it. See? Right there. And then I'm going to put it into the pan. All right, let's see here. All right. Of course, I have another small pan, but I'd rather use this one because I think I'm gonna put, or no, you know what? I'll use the one that I washed from yesterday's segment. I'm gonna use that instead. Okay. Okay. So I'll grab this. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to add that tablespoon of olive oil. Of course, all you know, olive oil is just a little bit more bitter for you because it has antioxidant. But, however, you just can't have it every single day. Now, I use it when I'm cooking and I need to actually grease something up. So, or like yesterday when I was making the dressing, I actually put the half cup. Yeah, on occasions I do. It's also not good for your cholesterol. So on occasion I have it. And of course, if you're looking after your health, get to your doctor first, and this should last at least somewhere between, let's see, 6 to 8 months, I think. Yeah, it usually I only use it when I have to. So it lasts a lot longer for me. So, oh boy. Now I have to rinse this off and put the 1 tablespoon of butter in. Now, usually you're supposed to keep it on low heat. So I'm just going to put it right there in the middle. So that should be 2. And of course, while we're waiting, not going to have any dead air, so I'll just keep talking. Of course. So, but it looks like it's going to heat it up fast. Yeah, it's already warm and I just turned it down. So, all right. And this stove really, really, really cooks really fast. And it looks like today's model is going to cook a little fast. I guess it depends on what model it is. Like I keep saying, check with your salesperson or landlord, and they'll tell you how fast or slow your stove cooks. So, and the salesperson would definitely know, because they're the ones that's selling the thing. If they don't know, then forget it. All right, I'm going to put this there. Okay. Now, yeah, this is really heating up fast. So, okay. Now, I'm going to put the 1 tablespoon in. Yeah, 1 and a half tablespoons. Okay, 1. And a half tablespoons. And this is the half. All right, if I need it again, I'll grab it out. Yeah, whenever you're working on any eggs or any omelets, whether it's vegan or not, you have to stick it on low heat. But if you stick it on high heat because you're in a hurry, then you know what? I'm not frugal. Go ask Sam. Or Gina would know, but I'm not really frugal. I'm doing the best I can. So, hey again, Mom. So, All right. Once you get it in, I'm telling you. Oh, and I need a spatula. Hang in there. Oh, and here it is, the spatula that I'm going to use. Now, a plastic one wouldn't stand up to something like this. It would only use it for nonstick pans, even though this is sort of nonstick, but the original nonstick pans, because it'll melt. I tried it one day and it wasn't good. So, all right, Maud. Okay. All right, Maud. And which Maud is it? Oh, geez. Maud, get back to me at nisatarosin2@gmail.com and let me know if it's you on one of the other shows. So, all righty. And Maud, I am watching my language, and there's nobody in my chat site. But please stay up because I need somebody. Okay. But yesterday my chat was so full yesterday. Let me tell you that, Maud. And I am trying to get on the SP space, but Buffer Squirrel won't put me in for some odd reason. Okay, we're gonna put this in the pan. Now, do I want to put the whole thing in there? No, not yet, but okay. Now, this is so it doesn't stick in. Love you, Maud, and thank you for popping on. Okay, all right. But I don't know which one of you is it. So, okay. Because of course you know, not every single. Hey, hello, one down there. And how you doing, green grass? And green glass. Oh, green glass. There is no one. Okay. All right. So then, all right. Yeah. Otherwise, no one knows that I'm even on here. Now, am I actually trying to diss her? No. That's not my intent. My intent is not to hurt her feelings, but everybody else is on there, and it is a little bit unfair that I'm not on there. So she didn't stick me on there yet, but I'll check later. I've been so tied up in writing on my materials, and so it's been a while since I got there. I'll check if I'm on there today. Okay. So I got to get myself on that directory. And I'm not going to fight with anyone because, first of all, it's going to give me a headache and it's not good for me. I got mental illness. So that's it. And my head is starting. I'm starting to get nervous. And yeah. And everybody, we are all on the same boat. Now, we are trying to get Scientology closed or get them to change all their tactics, get rid of all the nasty tactics that they have. But we're all on the same boat. Let's just all get along. That's all we're asking. And was it right for me to actually say that about Buffett Squirrel? Probably not, but I really want to get on that directory. But yeah. All right. Now, yesterday, my chat was full. Okay. Now, it is on low heat. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to put it in little by little. And then after, I'm going to make hummus. There it is. And I'll get to that as soon as I'm finished making my vegan omelet. I like to later hear about your background and about the awesome information of. Okay. Now, and you are green glass. Well, okay. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm living in another state, somewhere in Ohio, not giving my location where I am. And my parents are originally from Turkey. I was born here on United States soil. Happy about that because I get more out in this country than my parents got in Turkey. And I'm happy that they immigrated here. All right. So we have this on low heat. And I got an older brother. And I got 3 beautiful nieces and nephews. And plus one of them actually grew a beard, and he did everything ever since he knew he had facial hair. Do I like it? Well, no, I'm not into it, but he likes it. That's all that matters, and I'm not going to tell him what to do because he's a grown man now. And they all graduated college. One of them's an accountant, the other one's a businessman, and the other one is a nurse. Yeah, 2 nephews and a niece. And am I close with my brother? I try to be. And he tries to be close with me. Are we very close? Not very, but we try to be. That's all we could be. Because guess what? Families stick together. All right. All right, green glass. Thank you for being here. You're great. Now let everybody else know to come on here. And all right. Okay. All right. For my vegan tofu, I put in 14 ounce in the food processor. I put in 14 ounces of tofu, 2.5 teaspoons of active yeast, neutralized yeast. I think mine's that, but you know what? That's all the yeast I have. And 1 tablespoon and a half of olive oil. That's directly on my pan. 2.5 teaspoons of garlic powder. 3 tablespoons of flour. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, and I didn't put the measurements on that. And then 1/3 cup of soy milk, And then for the exterior, I cut up shallots, 2 shallots, or you can use a regular onion, and I mixed it in with the onions. Of course, that goes into the vegan omelet. Okay, yeah, there it is. It's rising up. Rising up, back on the streets. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna have to cook for a bit. Doesn't look like. Is it gonna? Yeah. All right. All right. Should I put the whole thing in there? No, because I want to flip it over, and it's not ready to flip over yet. So, all right. Okay, I don't know how long that's going to take, but I have it on medium heat, and I'm cooking it in olive oil. Is it frying? Yes, it looks that way. And who else can? Oh, it's green glass. Okay, you're the only one. It's okay. It's all right. So, and yeah, I'm on Mondays. I do a story Mondays through Fridays, and then on the weekend I cook. And am I a great cook? I don't know. But it's something that you have to have in order to survive. And of course, since I have not enough money to donate and I don't have that much of an income, I decide to do this for everybody who escaped the cult, especially the one that's in Scientology. All right. But so far, Green Glass, you have been good to me. So thank you for coming on. And then after, I'm going to make hummus. Okay. How long is it going to cook? Well, that I don't know. If it doesn't flip over, I'll cry because I didn't try it out before actually putting on air. I'm sort of keeping my fingers crossed at the same time while cooking. So far it's cooking. Is it cooking together? Well, a little bit, but okay. Yeah, I'm not a frugal gourmet and I'm not a chef, so. All right. How long is it going to cook? That I don't know. So. All right. So. Okay. Now, keep from getting bored. Now, you know what? If Sam was on here, I would follow his advice. Or if Jenna was here, she might, because she's going to follow her recipe. And I don't want to get sued, so I do it up a bit and then keep my fingers crossed. Yeah, should I do it in advance? Yes, but keeping my fingers crossed is something I always do. So, okay. Now, all right. It's getting there. I'm going to want to flip it, but it's not happening. Let's see. Let me try another half a cup. Nah, I'm too much of a chicken to even try. So there we go. And, my mod's gone. Okay. All right. All right, there we go. Is it working? It is a little bit. Some parts of it is together. All right. Yeah. The reason why I don't give out where I live is because, as you know, it's Scientology. Now, we all get critics. We don't escape it. It's the way we handle critics that matters. Do I handle my critics well? Well, since mine's in the shape of my brother and his little woman, that's my sister-in-law. Then yeah, right there. Families are the best critics in the world. And are some of the things they're saying is right? Yes. But some of the things they say is wrong too. And sometimes, usually I'm wrong. But there are times that I'm right. They won't admit it. But of course, you also have critics out there. But it's Scientology who doesn't know how to handle a critic. They think, oh, well, if they're being negative, it doesn't make us look. Well, guess what? You made your bed, Scientology, you lie in it. So, okay. Is it together? All right. Okay. You know what? I'm going to actually try to put a little bit more milk in there. But not too much of it. So let's see. I'm going to add an extra 1/4 and it will be 2/3 there. There. All right, let's see how this works out. All right. This is like 2/3 of it. So let's see how this works out. Did I put flour in there? No, I didn't. Let's see. Yeah, didn't look like I put the flour in there. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay. Put one more tablespoon. Alrighty, here we go. All right. Yeah, I might have not put in anything in there. So, okay. And thank you very much, Green Grass, for jumping on and making me feel great about myself. All right, then. But the good news is that I do have, yeah, it's falling apart, so have to wait a little while longer for flipping it. It's brown on the bottom, so. All right, it is together. I'll give you that. And you know what? My material is in there, so. Okay. Now I'm going to put my onion in. Onion mixed with my cheese. And then turn it over very gently, it looks like. All right. I am getting hungry. All right. It fell apart a little, but it is brown. Okay. Flip it over and then let it cook. It did fall apart a bit, but let's try the second one and see if it works. I'm going to let that one melt. Yeah, it is brown on the bottom. I'll give you that. Okay. Okay. How many does it make? It looks like it's going to make at least, I think about 10. I'm not sure, but me and math don't mix. I'm not good at math, but I know the basics. Okay. I'm enjoying your show. Oh, well, thank you, Green Grass. All right. And it looks like I did not bore you, so thank you. Okay. And the good news is I have 134 views. So just keep on coming, Green Glass, and tell your friends to come on in. All right. All right. Oh my gosh, I smell those onions. No, it's not brown yet. Yeah, when you flip it over gently. So it did fall apart a little. And it looked like I forgot to put my flour in. Okay. So let me put one more tablespoon. I think I might have forgot, but okay. All right, there we go. Now, the flour has to hold it together. All right, as soon as I'm done with my omelet, I am going to make you hummus. That's right. I did have a little bit of ice cream, but it doesn't look like it turned out right. So I'm going to have to put that off. And it looks like I'm going to have to cut it up to eat it. But maybe if I get it turned out, actually make it for you. Okay. Okay. Now, my mom growing up, she was an awesome cook. Before I went vegetarian and somewhat vegan, she used to make all these great chicken recipes, and her rice was always amazing. Oh, and me and my brother loved the way she baked. And there's this one Armenian cookie, Middle Eastern cookie called a lokhba. It's an Armenian shortbread, and it is so wonderful. It's similar to the Greek kind, even though the Greek one is so amazing too. And actually, Nora is Greek, and she probably likes it. I don't know, because me and her hasn't so far talked yet. And does she know about me? Maybe, because I've been on her chat. And maybe I'll get her on my show. All right. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm going to pretend it's done because I'm getting bored. Okay, there we go. So I slide it off. And I'll cook my second one, only this time I'm going to add the whole thing in. All right, so here we go. I'm not going to wait forever for this, so here we go. Now, this is more healthier than the original eggs because the eggs have so much cholesterol, as you know it. So I'm going to spread this out. It does have the flour in there, and the flour would hold it together if it'll do it to mine. Okay. And it is on low heat. Okay. All right. And as you know, some people in the SPTV think mafia is similar, that Scientology is similar to the mafia. No, not as much. But they are similar in the ways is my boss, cult guru are similar because they're seen upon as gods. But it stops right there because in the mob or La Cosa Nostra, You are not allowed to put your hands on another made man. You're not allowed to draw attention to yourself. You're not allowed to snitch. And they certainly don't go around emptying out an entire town like David Miscavige did. And they don't go around breaking up families. And what else? And in the past, when they had a bunch of kids, they gave those bunch of kids one of the, well, it's on one of the programs. Just go on one of them. I picked it up from one of the YouTube shows. And they had them bring in the cars, and they actually paid them $500 for each car they bring in. And they all took off with $3,000 apiece. I'm sorry, but where is Laura, Nora, Serge, Aaron's bundle? Or Natalie's, Lana's? They don't have it. So let's see what else. And they can't squeeze money out of people either. So I don't know where they got that, but they don't do those things that Mafia does. Because guess what? They snitch. They put their hands on each other. Miscavige beats up his staff for all I know, because Mark keeps talking about it. Aaron keeps talking about it. So no, and yeah. And they keep their mafia life separate from their family life. So you don't believe me? Go on one of my other sites, Mafia versus Scientology. And you'll get sites from Michael Francese. He does a show and has guests come on, but time to time, sometimes he has a Q&A. But Dominic Sicali, the former member, I think it's the Genovese family, either that or it's the Banana family. And Michael Francese was formerly of the Colombo family. Of course, as you know, his father, Sonny Francese, was the boss of the Colombo family. Now, it looks like he kept that life separate from his family life. Of course, I think Michael would tell you that. And he's an older guy now. And he has, I think, 7 kids and 4 or 5 grandchildren. All right. I put the whole thing in there because I can't wait any longer. And oh my gosh. Next time, I'm going to see what I can have during the summer. Yeah, summer cooking is difficult because it's in the heat. So, and do I have a barbecue? No, I don't. And, and I also have links down below, not just for Dominic Sicali and Michael Francese, but now Dominic Sicali has the round table, and Michael Francese's shows simply has his name. And Jeff Nadoon, he's not really going to do much mafia shows anymore because he just doesn't enjoy it anymore. So he's going to talk about some. But Scott Bernstein from the original gang podcast definitely will have all the information. And yeah, I also did a piece on Scientology versus the mafia. Go to that. I also have a little bit of a story in there too on what happened in the Philadelphia mob. Just check it out. I don't want to give away any of the plots. Oh my God. I had to cook in the heat, but at the same time, I wanted to do this for everybody who's getting out of Scientology and gotta know how to cook. Yeah, it's turning brown. You know what? I'm gonna cook it up a little bit more faster. But no. Now, the Money Project, Jeff Augustine claims he did it. Now, I am convinced, but he's also got a little bit mixed up because I just mentioned they don't operate the same way. But if you have any questions, go to the Round Table with Dominic Scali or Michael Francisi's show. He has his name titled to the show, or the Original Gangster podcast. They will answer all your questions. But Dominic Scali would be the best one to go to because he always has the Q&A. All right. And he's also going to run for governor. Now, how is he going to make it? Hey, there's no problems with trying. He used to be in the mob. He's no longer active. He's out. Anyways, he's going to be running for governor. He wants to clean up all the corruption. So write him. Go to his site. Find out what his email address is. I told him about Scientology. He said he'll get back to me. But also, you tell him that too, because if he gets enough emails about Scientology and he's elected governor, he will sure do something about it because you know how corrupt Scientology is. It practically corrupted Tom Cruise. So write him. I would highly recommend Dominic Scali's channel. I'm not saying don't watch the other channels. Michael Francis is very intelligent. He wears his heart on his sleeve. Yeah, I just don't talk about politics with him because you never make friends with politics. Never. So you don't talk about religion. You don't talk about, and especially when you're on a job. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about politics because right there's going to run into a problem. I stopped talking about politics altogether on a job because you don't make many friends with politics. Oh, wow. Oh, and it does smell so amazing. And where was I? And yeah, I mean, because guess what? People see God differently than the next person. And if they read the Bible, they would see the Bible differently than the next person. No one looks at the Bible the same way. It's all different. Do I read the Bible? No, I'm not big on writing books. Big on reading books. That's the thing. I should read a book. That's why I went back to school to actually read and better my life. And of course, I know how to write, so I decided to do it. podcast, and I would like to get a job as an aide. I'm not going to say where I'm going to be an aide. All right. Oh, this one's together. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put the whole thing on. And then I'm going to flip it over. Oh, wow, it worked out great when I put the extra flour on there. Now, what do I do with the rest? Well, I'll save it for another day. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to turn it down. Yeah, once I add more flour to it, it actually turned over. All right. I think probably Dominic would love the fact that I actually gave him all the information on his site. I highly recommend his because not only he used to be the capo in the Bonanno family, or one of either Bonanno family or Genovese family. I don't know which one, but I think it's the Bonanno family. You can ask him if you get on. And okay. Yeah, I think I might have forgot to put the flour in. Okay. And now we're going to make hummus. Let me get rid of that. I'm going to put this in a container. So hang in there for a sec. All right. All right. I'll use that for another day. And now, okay. I'm going to rinse this bowl out and start making hummus. Of course, I'm probably going to need my food processor, so hang in there. All right. Yeah, I'm going to have to wash it, so here we go. All right. Yeah, it looks like I forgot to put the flour in because it didn't do really anything but fall apart. But once I put the flour in, it did. It flipped right over. So, all right. So now I have the food processor and forgot that I needed it for my hummus. All right. Now, okay, let's see if this is done. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay. Well, it's not melting, but you know what? It's on lower heat. All right. Okay, so here we go. I'll put this aside. Okay, so I'm going to grab my chickpeas. All right. Here we go. Yep, it's fine. Just, yeah, it looks like I got a burnt up chickpea. Yeah. All right. But the rest are fine. Okay. So then, all right. So we're going to add, okay. Looks like 2 cups of chickpeas. Let me go get my cup. I forgot to actually put the number that how many cups I should put. I forgot to put it in, but here we go. Okay, I'm gonna put in the 2 cups of chickpeas. Okay, although it's 2.5. Okay. Should I put the rest in? Nah, I'm not gonna put the rest in. I'll eat it another day. All right. You're still with me. Thank you, Green Glass. And of course, if enough people tell him about what's going on with Scientology, he'll know about it. And he said he'll get back to me about it. But however, write to him about Scientology, and he'll definitely is going to look into it. Okay, so then, all right. Put 2 cups of chickpeas. You know what? I'm going to put the whole thing in because I don't know when the next time I'm going to have it. So first I'm going to, oh, geez, I can put that thing in. I'll put this in. All right. Close it up. Brush it up. All right. Okay. Then, yeah, I'm going to put this down here for a bit. I'm going to get a spoon and then push it around. Now, hummus I definitely know how to make because that's my region, and my parents are definitely from the Middle East and came here. And my parents passed. One of them passed in 2008 on October, and my dad passed away on October, I think, 23rd. Same month, different years. Okay, so then we're going to put 1.5 teaspoons of lemon juice. Okay. All right, let's see. Lemon juice. Here it is. Put it in. And then the 1/2 teaspoon. Here it is. That's a tablespoon. And usually they have hummus at a party served with pita bread, or you can use vegetables on it too. But you know what? It can be eaten like a sandwich. So I usually do that. And a lot of vegetarians do that. They put hummus into bread, make it into a sandwich, of course, you know. And then 1 tablespoon olive oil. Put that in. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, I keep changing mine. I'm not going to put the rest in there because this is a smaller version of a food processor, so that'll do it. And all right, and then 2 or 3 4. Oh darn! Yeah, I put it in. All right, so let me grab my garlic and wash up my cutting board once again. Okay. And then wipe it up. Yeah, I never should have just thrown it in there, but you know what? Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to close this. The rest back. Now, if you have a can of chickpeas, you can use it. Dump it into your food processor. That should cover about it. Usually, I think it's 15 ounces. It would be about a cup and a half. It'll do. It's the big version of it, though. Okay. All right. So let me get my garlic. Here we go. 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. But if you want to put more, go right ahead and do so. Yeah, there's very little left, so I'm just going to use it all of them. So, okay. Yeah. You know what? I must have forgot to put the 3 tablespoons of flour in there because you know what? It flipped right over where the other one did it. Okay. And, okay. And we are going to cut it up. If I can find a knife. No, I'll just use this. All right. So if you got a crusher and you're able to crush your garlic, then one thing I left off. If the members of the mob pay up to the boss, then the boss has to share it with everybody. David Miscavige doesn't do that. So they're sort of like it since they're seen as gods and you're there serving the mob, they're sort of Scientology. That's where it stops. Otherwise, they don't operate the same way. So I'm not going to call them a liar. I'm not going to call Jeff Augustine a liar or any of the former members a liar because they had it rough throughout the years with being in Scientology and then getting out and seeing those jerks outside the door. So, and of course, the way we stop them from doing any of those stuff or David purchasing any of the buildings, yeah, it's a real estate scam. Then we have to write to our congressperson asking them how they would feel if they have the hearing into revoking Scientology's tax exempt status. Yeah. Yeah, they're hiding under the cloak of the Fourth Amendment. They're hiding behind the Fourth Amendment. So, of course, law enforcement can't get to them. Some of them are actually back in Scientology's pockets, as you know. Oh, I gotta remove that. Okay. Now, this is what the omelet looks like. The first one, I forgot to put the flour in. Second one, just flipped over because I put the flour in. So there we go. And turn this heat off. So that's the way we have to actually get Scientology's tax exempt status revoked. Oh, and the only thing is, when they pay up to the boss, the soldiers get very little of their amount, so they're going to have to actually pull off more rackets to actually turn a profit. But however, I'm not encouraging that, and I'm not defending them either. So there we go. Because, like in the words of Michael Francese, his quote, "It's an evil lifestyle." So he got out of it. He is now a minister. Okay, so then we cut up the garlic. And just stick it in there. And of course, the food processor will do the work. All right, so although let me cut it in half so it can move a little fast, or in fours. Okay. Oh, and this. I'm going to use all of it because this was like only a little left, so I decided to just use it. All right. Oh my gosh, all right. All right, so I'll cut this. All right. Oh, geez. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, so I don't need it anymore, so it's definitely in there. And let's see here. Now I'm going to get the food processor. I'm sorry you got dead air. And all right. Oh, and I need 2 tablespoons of sesame seed of Tahitian sauce. Yeah, let me shake it up first. Shake it up. Woo, woo, shake it up. All right, a tablespoon of Tahitian sauce. Oops. Okay, there we go. All righty. And we're going to ground it up. Not, we're going to put about pause every few seconds because you don't want your food processor to burn out. Stop. Okay, now I'm going to take my spoon, bring it down. Now it looks like I'm going to have to put a little water in there, so I'm going to, okay, put this down here for now because it keeps sliding off, so. All right, just put about 1/3 in there. See how that turns out. All right. Close this up. Oh, wow. Under the hot lights and the hot stove, I am getting so hot. All right. All right. There it goes. Keep on shutting it on and off, because you don't want your motor to burn out. So. Stop for a few seconds. Let your motor cool off each and every time. All right, there we go. Stop each time. All right, now I know I said I was going to add salt to any of my recipes, and usually I really don't, but looks like I'm going to have to add just a little bit in there. So I am just going to add about, yeah, where did the other ones go? I'm gonna add just a couple of pinches. Now this looks like it's about maybe 1/4, 1/3. It's not a teaspoon. So. All right. Okay. And now get the motor ready. And we're going to crush it up again. All right. Oh, jeez. Yeah, for one thing, you have to get it all the way on. All right, there. Stop, pause a bit so your motor doesn't run out. There we go. Until it goes into a smooth texture. Stop. Oh my gosh. It's pretty hot in the kitchen. I told you to change my cooking, but wanted to do it anyway. Okay, let's see. All right. Keep on going. Until it actually has this smooth texture. Of course, now okay, this one person. I don't. So. All right, we pause a bit. Okay, now I'm going to stir it up. Okay, it's coming out really good. Now, each and every time you have to pause because your motor will burn out. So maybe I'll put just a touch back in there. All right, so that should do it. And then we're going to go back on. Stir it up, back up again. And it has to be a smooth consistency. Okay. And there's green glass. Okay. All right, let's see. The Mafia. Let me see. Mafia has better morals. Yeah, a little bit more better morals, only without the killing. Yeah, because guess what? They do not have a baby factory. And they certainly don't have, and they certainly don't go around breaking up families. Okay. There. Just a little more. Okay, we're going to stop for a bit because this motor will burn out. All right. Okay. There we go. All right, that should do it. I'm not going to mix it up anymore. Okay. Now, plus, if you use this, the motor won't burn out as much. But if it does, leave it for about 15 minutes. Then it'll be usable again. It's the Ninja product. Right there. It's the Ninja. And it's great. I mean, it's definitely better. But actually, for this, it only takes in a certain amount of content. And this is what it's going to look like. I don't want to get anything messy. See? This is what it looks like. Gotta wipe that off. All right. Oh, gotta clean my computer. Of course, we're gonna take it and put it in another. Oh, hold on. All right. Now, I'm going to stick it in this. All right. It turned out perfect. All right. Of course, I'm going to have to take out the blade and put it back in the sink. And it's not going to taste like it's Tahitian sauce, but okay. Is it the same way my mom cooked made it? You know what? Probably not, because she probably put just a little bit more Tahitian sauce in there. All right. All righty. All right. Now, all right. All right. Looks like I'm gonna have, yeah, there's a little left over, so I think I'll probably make a sandwich out of it for brunch. And how does this one taste? Let me try it out. It's not totally bad. It tastes exactly like tofu. Now with this one, I think I might have forgotten to put the flour in, so it doesn't taste as bad. Yeah, it's edible still. All right. Well, that should do it. Hit the like, press subscribe, and I'll definitely see you tomorrow at, let's see what time. 4:30. See you then.